As you know, I've announced my candidacy to run for Lord Mayor. It's an extension of the role that I've had for probably the last, would be around nine months once we go into election proper. So that will potentially be the longest tenure for someone to have run as acting Lord Mayor in the City of Perth. So I'm excited to continue delivering and on the momentum that we've built. I believe I've got a track record on delivery, and I go about things in a calm, steady manner.
Several days ago, you say you're still considering, and you won't make a decision a little later. What changes your mind? Where's the sudden explosion of vision comes from?
Yeah, look, that's about getting the timing right. So we had an ordinary council meeting coming up, and a few other things. So we just delivered the largest budget in the city's history. So it was about choosing the right timing, and today I believe is the right time.
What are the commitments that you're going to make in front of the voters and of course those people who are watching today?
Look, so one of my commitments is to take the big problems head on, certainly around safety. We'll continue the amazing work the city has been doing. We've got over 800 CCTVs giving 24/7 monitoring. We've committed through the budget for another $5.5 million in increased lighting and increased CCTV. We'll continue to work closely with the state government and WA Police. And ultimately, I believe it's within our remit to become the safest capital city in Australia.
Okay, the issue of your predecessor's battles and was talking about removing the women's shelter. Will this kind of thing happen again if you're Lord?
Yeah, I don't think that's probably a fair question, to be fair to you, Ivan, because that was something that happened a couple of years ago. We're in a brand new cycle under a brand new leader, and obviously as we go through the Lord Mayoral process and a brand new elected Lord Mayor, so we'll be moving forward. And that will be my focus.
When it comes to leadership, there's a lot of different styles out there. What is your style?
Yeah, look, I'm a very pragmatic style. I'm focused on delivery. I've been involved with managing teams and running and founding businesses for over 30 years in the City of Perth. So I certainly have the experience around the organisational structure and the ability to deliver. One of my businesses has delivered 67,000 projects over the last 30 years. And that comes with obviously a fair bit of planning and a fair bit of effort.
Within the next 12 months, name your top 3 targets.
Top 3 targets, well, I've been working very strongly to rebuild our relationship with the state government, well and truly on the way there. Continuing our efforts around safety, we're investing another $5.5 million into lighting and CCTV. Ultimately, I want to look at how we can reinvigorate our malls and our retail sector, so I'll be working very closely with industry professionals to look at effective ways that we can tackle those tough problems.
What about homelessness? What are you going to do about it?
Look, homelessness is a tricky one. Certainly, I'm not the sort of person to say it's just a state obligation. At the city, we need to do whatever we can to help support those who are in vulnerable circumstances, and that is something that I'm committed to do as a human being.
What sort of supportive measures that you want to bring in to assist homeless people?
Yeah, look, so Ivan, we do have a Minister for Homelessness. Our job is to support the Minister for Homelessness, the Department of Communities, NGOs and non-for-profit organisations with what they already do in the sector. It's important that we do lead with an understanding that it is an obligation to help those who are vulnerable within our society.
What is your top pet project ideas?
Top pet project ideas, ultimately bringing stability and delivery to our city. I mean, that's just a given. Around continued efforts in safety and around continued efforts in our innovation and activation.
Catherine Lazar has announced her candidacy. If you don't mind, I'll be blunt and ask you this way. Why are you better than her?
Oh, I think that's up for the electorate to decide. I think Catherine and I...
What makes you better than her?
No, Catherine and I are different people, Ivan, and I wouldn't say I'm better than anyone. That was the way I was brought up. So from that point of view, I would never say that I certainly have a different set of experiences, a different set of skill sets, and the electorate will decide once we've had a chance to debate those fully and to explore those fully. But I'm not better than anyone.
But if you don't mind, put it this way, for voters to choose, it's not just about the people that they choose, it's about the policies, it's about the character, it's about everything that comes together for a candidate. And ultimately, one candidate has to stand out from the other in order to win.
Yeah, that's a good...
So what makes you stand out compared to your candidate? That's my point.
Yeah, well, look, obviously I've been doing the role now coming into 9 months by election period, so I've had a really good opportunity to live and breathe the role. Our previous Lord Mayor was amazing in transition. I was able to spend a couple of months with him to learn the ropes. So when you come into an election, generally speaking, for a newly elected Lord Mayor, you don't get that experience. You pretty much come in cold with your cardboard box, you sit at the table and you've got to learn the ropes. Well, I've been living and breathing the role. I've been delivering. I've been tackling all the hard issues head on, and I've been working extremely hard for the ratepayers, my fellow councillors and the council.
What is the toughest moment that a lot of ratepayers that may not know, may not heard of, that you can share with us today?
Sure, Ivan. So the reality is every single day is full of tough moments in a leadership role such as this. It is a significant and a very high-pressured role. Individually, I was like trying to pick your favourite child. Tough moments I embrace with challenge. I take them on wholeheartedly and with authenticity. And then once I've dealt with it, I move on to whatever the next issue is. So I'm not the sort of person to dwell on the past. I move forward. And there is never going to be a moment throughout our day when we're not dealing with tough moments.
What a message to voters and ratepayers who haven't made up their mind.
Sure, Ivan. Well, ultimately, I would like to put forward my case that I've been doing the job, so I do understand the role fully. I offer calm, credible leadership, stability, delivery. But ultimately, we are the capital city for the most important state in Western Australia. With that comes a great responsibility, something that I hold dear to my heart. I love our city, I love our country. So ultimately, from that point of view, I know how committed I am to fulfil the role of the Lord Mayor, and I will make sure that I deliver that for every moment that I am in the role.